Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about God preparing the way for us. And first of all I would like to ask you how much you think this bottle of water weighs. Now some of us will say this bottle of water weighs 750 grams. And I would say this bottle of water weighs 1 kilograms. And some would even say this bottle of water weighs 2 kilograms. Now I would probably think by holding it that the people who say it's 2 kilograms are probably right. But what we don't know is that it doesn't matter what the weight of this bottle of water is. What really matters is how long we hold on to this bottle of water. I mean, I'm only holding on to it for a few seconds now. And even if I hold on to it for a minute, I am sure nothing will happen. But if you hold on to this for an hour, your arm will start to ache and probably start feeling numb. And if you hold on to this for a day, your arm will be in serious pain and you will not be able to hold this bottle of water anymore. The weight of this bottle of water hasn't changed, but the longer you hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. Now the stresses and problems in our lives is exactly the same as this bottle of water. If we think about our problems for a little while, it doesn't become a problem. But if you think about them a little bit longer, it's starting to hurt. And if you think about your problems for a whole day, every day, the whole day, it starts to become a problem. It starts to hurt you. It will even paralyze you, and at the end of the day you will be able to do nothing because of that problem. We must always remember to put the bottle down before it starts to give us problems. And just like that, we must also put our worries, our stresses, our problems, we must also put that down. But we mustn't just put it down anywhere. We must put it down at God's feet. You must put it down at God's feet. You must ask God to forgive you and to help you to forget about it. I'm not saying you must forget about it so that you can do the same thing again, make the same mistakes again. You must ask God to help you to forget about it so that you don't make the same mistakes again and so that you don't have to hold that against yourself. We must stay away from the bad things in our lives. We mustn't always think that bad things happen because we think God wants to punish us. That's not always the case. When bad things happen, it's not always that God just wants to punish us. Bad things sometimes happen because God wants to create a path for us. He wants to take us in a direction where He wants to lead us and where He knows things will change for us and our lives will become better at the end of the day. Lots of people always just say, yes, God is punishing you, God will punish you because you are doing this and you are doing that. And that's not true. If we look at Joseph, look what God did with Joseph. God prepared Joseph. He allowed his brothers to put him in the well and torn his clothes and made it full of blood and told his father that he's dead. And then at the end of the day, they took him out of the pit and they sold him so that he could go to Egypt. And when he was in Egypt, he was put in jail and everything just went wrong. It just was bad for him. And he never stopped trusting God. He always trusted that God will do something for him and that God has sent him there for a reason. And at the end of the day, what happened? Joseph has saved many lives. How many lives that Joseph saved at the end of the day? And it was God that took him there. He came out of jail and he became a leader in Egypt. He became one of the most important men in Egypt. And at the end of the day, he saved millions of people's lives with the miracles that he has done. And we will discuss this later in another story. For now, I just want you to know to trust God. And when bad things happen, know this, that bad things happen for a reason. It just didn't happen and now that God and his angels in heaven is sitting and laughing because of whatever happened to you. That's not true. That thing happened because God wants to use it somewhere along the way. He wants to use you to do something for him or to help someone else. His brothers sold him, Joseph's brothers sold him, and at the end of the day, he's the one that gave them food. They bended down before him and thought he was this amazing person. They didn't even knew it was his brother when they met him again after a few years, and look what happened to him. So just trust God, leave your problems with God, and at the end of the day, you will see the miracles happen in your life. I mean, you've heard the story of my life, or some of it, living in a caravan and how we suffered, and as we are talking, my life is changing. God is busy doing things in my life, and I'm pretty sure that the things that happen to some other people, and even the things that happen to Joseph, is much worse than some things that happens to us and to some people out there. And the only thing we must do is just to put it at God's feet and to trust that God will save us and pull us through at the end of the day. I hope you guys have a wonderful week full of miracles. God bless you. Goodbye.